Hello and welcome to the sit down and work your core workout. So with this, we're going to be focusing on the core only, and you get to do it sitting down. I mean, awesome, right? And you also don't even have to wear shoes. Could it get any better? So I just want to do a real quick recap of what we're talking about when it comes to the core, because we often hear squeeze your core and sometimes we're like, how? So I'd like you to consider this area of your body as being surrounded by muscles that kind of don't just go up and down like what we see in a six-pack, but also around. And some go this way, some go this way, some go this way, some go this way, some go this way. And the ones that you can target the most, or kind of connect to the most, are the ones that kind of go this way. So I want you to picture your spine, and you've just got these awesome muscles that are, their purpose is to hold you steady and stabilize that amazing spine of yours. So that's what we're focusing on. And when you think about squeezing them, I want you to think about squeezing inward, bracing your brace, squeezing your girdle. All right, so it's not a push out of muscle, like it's actually a squeezing in. I sometimes say it's kind of like squeezing a sponge. So and sometimes, well, not sometimes, but I have in the past in some of my classes used an 8 or 10 pound medicine ball. This is going to sound so mean, but it really gets the core squeezed and that connection to the brace. And I have a client lie down, and then I have the medicine ball on top, and just kind of drop it just above their belly button, as long as they don't have any abdominal issues, obviously. And that teaches the brace. Like, so just imagine what you would do if something was coming hurtling at your stomach. Or I used to think, like when I used to play football, and when a ball's being passed and you got to catch it in. And what happens to your body when you do that? So that's the sensation that we're looking for. And once you get it and you practice sort of honing in on that, what this video is about is the practice of squeezing the core, then it becomes just beautifully naturally to you. And then every movement that you make, you're golden, because you're going to be protected with your core. So it helps prevent falls. It'll just catch you, less injury happening. You're just a safer, more solid human being standing in all of your awesomeness. All right, so we're going to do a series of exercises, 30 seconds each time with a little bit of rest in between. Of course, you're going to do this to your capability, and I'm going to keep reminding you to squeeze that core throughout. Okay, so I'm going to back up so you can see my feet as well. So you just need a chair, you guys, okay? Just a chair. You don't even need shoes, as you can see. All right. So I want you to sit with hip width apart are the knees and the feet. Can you see my feet? And I want you to just take a nice shoulder roll and just relax. Inhale and exhale. Good. And again. Fantastic. Now, the seated position for you is just slightly on the edge of the seat, and even that itself should squeeze that core a little bit. So your feet are planted firmly on the ground. So you've got the balls of the feet and the heels on the ground. Your shoulders you've kind of placed into position. And I want you to just imagine that kind of squeezing in. This isn't squeezing in and lifting the shoulders. This is just solid and strong in the center of you, your core. All right, so we're going to start with side reaches. We're going to reach side to side, keeping this position here with just a slight rotation if you just think about the rib cage. Okay, so nice and tall, squeeze that core in tight, and let's go ahead and reach and reach and reach. So we're going to look at this as a bit of a warm-up as well. Now, if you can't get super high above the head, you're going to reach across. Breathe out as you reach, and again, reminding yourself that you're squeezing in that core. So you breathe out. Keep going. Keep that core nice and tight, so you're standing tall, or sitting tall, I should say, and you're staying in your heels, and the balls of the feet are on the floor as well. Keep going. Breathe out. Awesome. 10 more seconds left. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. And release, and just notice, just come back in and feel whether or not you've got that nice tight core going on. Okay, now we're going to do a seated jumping jack. Now there is a modification for this if doing both arms and legs is a bit too much, and you're just going to do one leg instead, or you're going to do both. Now the more movement you create, of course, the more the core is going to squeeze tight to stabilize you because you're moving, right? So it's going to be like this. So you're basically on the edge of your seat. Breathe out as you come up and keep that core nice and tight. Just keep thinking about what it would feel like if somebody dropped a medicine ball. Not that I'm going to come over to your house and do that or anything, but just imagine if I did. If I came over and dropped a medicine ball on your stomach, what would your stomach do, right? Now again, if this is a bit too much and you're feeling in the lower back, then just do, both arms and one leg, or you can do one side only on both the arm and the leg. Okay, so just keep squeezing that core no matter which one you choose. Keep it nice and tight. So you are lifting through the core, but you're not lifting your shoulders up. That's it. We're gonna do 8 more. 8, breathe out as you come up. 7, breathe out here. 5, good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. Give your shoulders a roll. Kind of up and down with the feet a little bit. Wiggle your toes. Good. All right, we're going to get a little wider in our seated stance, and we're going to go over and touch just to the calf. Okay, so again, keeping that brace so that we're not just bending, we're not just rolling the body down, we're actually going to keep the core tight. So the hinge is essentially at the hip. So we're going to come down and reach, come down. So join in now. Come down, reach, breathe out. And you're using the core to come back to that seated position. So the actual bend itself is at the hip, right? We're not bending and rounding the back. We're bending at the hip as we reach down. So keep on going. So widen your stance. Breathe out as you reach for that shin. That's it. Now, if the shin is too much, you're gonna go for the knee. You're just gonna reach here. Boom. Boom. That's it. Again, reach down, squeeze that core tight as you come up. Hi, cat. Come down. So there is a slight rotation at the shoulder, of course, as you reach across the body. But what I want you to really focus on is keeping that core crazy tight. So you can breathe, but you're kind of like still feeling those muscles engage as you breathe out. Breathe out as you come down. Core tight, core tight. Chest proud, core tight. That's it. We'll do 8 more. 8, 7, squeeze it as you come up. 6, use that ab to bring you up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. My chair is super squeaky. I should have put some music on maybe, hey? Give yourself a little roll. All right, we're going to go into a front punch. So this is going to be using a little bit of oblique because I do want you to twist a little bit, but your core is keeping you stable so the rest of the body doesn't follow along with that twist. So just make that connection. So let's tighten up, shoulders relaxed, fists up, ready, go. Boom, boom. That's it. So you're sitting tall, right? You're sitting tall, but you're not bringing the shoulders up. Breathe out as you punch. And your palm is facing down, fists forward. You're at shoulder level. And again, just a slight twist of the rib cage. The rest of the body doesn't twist. Okay, it's the core that's holding that spine steady as you rotate the body around the spine. Right? So just imagine the muscles that you would need to keep the spine steady as the rib cage kind of rotates around it. So keep that core tight. Breathe out. Now we're going to pick up the pace a little bit. You're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. Unless you feel something in the lower back. If that's the case, you're going to go back to the slower pace. Breathe out. Breathe out. Keep your feet planted on the floor and sit tall. Don't round your back. If you start to feel your back rounding, it just means your core is saying, I don't want to do this right now. And you're just going to give it a moment and then come back. Okay, so you just stop the movement, reassess, reconnect the core, and then come on back. That's it. Breathe out. Keep that core crazy tight. And the squeeze of the core is really the work, right? And your body's saying, wow, I'm really feeling this. You might get even a little bit sweaty just doing this simple movement, but it's because you're squeezing so tight. You're doing it for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Give yourself a shoulder roll. That's fantastic, you guys. All right, now we're going to work the obliques a little bit. Now, instead of the traditional oblique bend, which is kind of hard on the shoulders sometimes, we're actually going to imagine that we've got two massive balloons here, and we're going to push the balloon down. Push the balloon down. Push. All right, so when you're ready, you're going to be hip width apart. Your shoulders are relaxed. Again, sitting with the core tight. Dropping. Dropping. Breathe out. Good. So again, I'll show you the side view of that with my, here we go. We're just staying tall, dropping and alternating sides, of course, but I can only show you one side. Drop. So I'm keeping my core engaged. I'm squeezing it in as I push that big balloon down without raising my shoulder up. Okay? Pushing into the heels, into the floor. Squeeze, and the rest of my body is staying still, so I'm not like leaning my whole body over. I'm just dropping my shoulder, so it's really as if my rib cage is the only thing that's moving. Breathe out. Your palms are facing the floor as you push that big balloon down. Keep it nice and tight in that core. Again, not rounding the back. Your core, your girdle is holding your spine straight and long, so you're not rounding forward as you drop down. Okay, we're going to do 10 more. 10, 9, sitting tall, 8, squeeze that core, 7, breathe out, 6, you're doing great. 5, oh, I see my dog left me, he's behind now. 4, push down into the floor with the heels. 3, don't raise your shoulders. 2, and last one. Awesome. All right, give yourself a shoulder roll. And finally, it's going to be the lean back. And then we're just going to go back to some reaches just to sort of loosen up a little bit. All right, so core engaged again. Make that connection before you do any exercise ever. Ever, ever. Before you go for a walk, I want you to, okay, am I nice and tight? Am I protecting my spine? Am I keeping myself tall and proud? Right? All right, so we're going to cross the hands across the chest. And again, hinging at the hip. Okay? So we're keeping the girdle, your core, tight to keep that spine straight as you go to where you can. And then use that power to come back up. Sometimes I like to think of it as if there's this string that I'm leaning back, and then I'm pulling the string from about my belly button to bring me back to that stand or that sit. Okay, so feet are flat on the floor, you're at the edge of your seat, and you're coming down, hinging here. And then slowly coming back up. Now I'm going to have you hold the lean for a second, or 2, or 3, 2, 1. Now use that pull back. Good, let's do that again. Come on back down. So again, nice and tall. Just imagine that long spine and the core wrapped around it, holding you in this position for 2, 1. Now use that to pull you back up. Good, do it again. Come on down. Awesome, you're doing great. Hold here, squeeze it in, squeeze it in, squeeze it in, and then use it to bring you back. Good, your feet are still planted nicely on the ground, your balls of your feet and your heels. Do it again, come on down, squeeze, hold, hold, chin up, chest proud. You're one straight line, hinging at the hip, and use that core to pull you back up. Awesome, let's do it again, because you can. Here we go, come on down. And hold, squeeze it in, squeeze it in, squeeze it in, squeeze it in, hold for 3, 2, 1, and then use that to come up. Awesome job, good. All right, we're gonna go back to the side reach, and this will sort of loosen us up a little bit as well. So again, hip width apart and reaching to the side. That's it. Now, go high if you can, or stay down here. If your shoulders are, you know, compromised in any way, or if it feels uncomfortable, right? If there's any impingement, right? breathe out as you reach. Good, keeping that core nice and tight still. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fantastic. All right, how long was that? That looks like 15 minutes, you guys. So you can do that all over again. You can restart the video and do them again, all right? That would be perfectly safe. If you have the time and if you have the desire, then go for it. And from this point, we're just going to do a little shoulder roll to release. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. Good. And then I just want you to kind of connect once again to that fabulous core. So I just want you to sit, now that your shoulders are relaxed, after a couple of shoulder rolls, if you need to roll the head a little bit, you know your body. So what feels good for you to just find your space? And I want your arms to just land where they're comfortable. And then I want you to, again, to just squeeze in. So notice that even if you're sitting in a relaxed position, you still have the opportunity to connect to that core. You're still able to squeeze in and feel the sensation again, like a medicine ball about to be dropped on you as you lie flat on the floor. Oh, it was so mean, but it was so good. Nobody was injured, I promise, ever. Nobody ever has been injured. And I don't let them, like, they can't even bring their arms up to protect themselves. They have to just stay there, wait for that ball to hit them. Yes, so, but it certainly gets the point across, right? If you can just imagine. You're just lying there. Anyway, so just keep that squeeze, and really, you know what, if movement isn't happening and you don't feel like doing any of the actual exercises, you just sitting there and squeezing and releasing and squeezing and releasing, you're going to get that connection, and it is so valuable and so good and so worth your time. So I really hope you take the time to do it. I also want to thank you very much for tuning in to this video. Go ahead and subscribe if you wish. And if you hit, there's like a little bell, and if you hit that, that'll notify you if I make another video. And if you subscribe to the channel, it's always free. I don't do this for anything other than trying to share. All right, so I have no way of putting it any other way. I just want to help if I can. All right, I'm going to awkwardly look for the stop button now, so hang on. I found it. Okay, all right, stay safe.